Okay, so we're going to solve or determine the liquid limit using the MS Excel program. So I also uploaded in the Google Classroom the link for the YouTube video tutorial on how to make a semi-logarithmic graph and how to plot liquid limit using the Excel program. So in this case, you can see here, I already typed in here the raw values or the raw data on the moisture content that we have computed a while ago. So in this column, we can see here the test number. So that is 1 to 4. And then we have the number of blows. I just arranged it from the least up to the greatest. So we have 11 to 35. And their equivalent or corresponding moisture content value that we have computed. So our goal here is to get the liquid limit at number of blows that is equivalent to 25. So as per Casagrande method. So in this portion, I just have copied the values, or we will copy here the values for interpolation. For y-axis, we have the water content and the number of blows for x-axis. And in this case, we can have the value for liquid limit. So, and then in this case, we have x and y value. This is for point of n that is equals to 25 from the graph. So these are the typical values. This can be changed. So we're going to insert first a chart. So we have here, go to insert and then chart. Then we're going to use the insert scatter or bubble chart. So we have here different types. So we're going to choose between this scatter or this scatter with smooth lines and markers. So we're going to use this one. Then you can see here a blank chart. Then we're going to have a right click on the mouse and then select data. We need to add. Let's write a series name, liquid limit. So we have series value for x. So we have our x is the number of blows. And then our y value is the moisture content here. So, okay. And you can see this appearance. Okay, so if you can notice, the graph is not yet in a logarithmic form. So you can see here the x and y axis. So it is called semi-logarithmic because the x-axis is in the form of a semi-logarithmic, and then the y-axis is linear type. So we're going to click the x-axis here, right click, and then format axis, and then you try to look for logarithmic scale 1. So we can have base, can change this one by 2, or you can change it by 5. Like that. So here you can have 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So we can also customizing here for minimum for the bounds. We have, we can observe first the number of blows here. Let's try to check here. The number of blows, the least value is 11. So we can use around 10 or 5 instead of 1, so that we can easily look for the data, or we can easily see the result. So let's try 5. You can also try for 10, like that. So it's very close to the y-axis. So let's just try 5. And the maximum value is 100. So like this. So this is 25. So this n equals to 25. This will define the value for liquid limit. So what's next? We're going to rename the axis. So let's click the X first and then chart design, add chart element, axis titles. That is the horizontal. Let's name it as number of blows. That is N. Let's make it beautiful graph, or you can customize this one. We're going to enlarge it bold so that you can easily see. Okay, then let's rename also the y-axis, chart design, add chart element, axis titles, primary vertical. This is the moisture content in terms of percent. Try to customize it with our preferred font and size. So I prefer it larger, like that. You can customize your chart. Okay. Next is we're going to solve or show the trend or the flow curve of the liquid limit test. So we can see here the line. We're going to right click the value of the fourth test here, and then we have add trend line. So you can see here the trend line. So this is our flow curve, of which we're going to see or plot the straight line towards from the number of flows towards the moisture content. So you can choose here, there are options here, exponential, logarithmic, so on and so forth. And then at the bottom portion, you can see here, you can set intercept. That's not that we need, no. We need to display the equation because we're going to use the equation later. And then this line in here connecting the test number, the result for the moisture contents for the fourth test. We don't need that one for the liquid limit test, so we can customize that again. Chart design, we have change chart type. We'll go back to the scatter type of chart, and then just click this one, scatter. Okay, so we can see here the trend or the flow curve trend line. So we can emphasize this one, right click again. We're going to format, sorry. So format trend line, okay. So gonna make it solid color. And instead of dash line, we're going to change it into a solid line and a line, darker line. Okay, so we have this line already. So let's emphasize this equation because we need this equation later. Like that. And then we can also customize, or we want to see the semi-logarithmic chart a different way. So we're going to right click here, format major grid lines. We can make it a solid color, and then our minor grid lines, click the x-axis again, format or add minor grid lines so that we can see the trend. Then format minor grid lines. So let's change the color like that. So you can see the appearance of a semi-logarithmic graph. So same with the y-axis, you can also format major grid lines, but it's okay to be lighter in color. And then you can also format or add minor lines so that we can clearly see. Then you can also format the minor grid lines. Okay, so that's it, our graph. Now, we need to interpolate the values to determine the n equals to 25 equivalent. So we're going to interpolate from the number of rows here. We have 35, 11. Our n25 is within this range. So we're going to use 35 and 11 here. And from this number of rows equivalent, we're going to write the formula for the water content. We're going to take the equation from the chart. So we have here y equals to negative. So we're going to type it in here. We have equals open parenthesis. We have negative 0.0135 multiplied by our x, that is 35, plus 45.667. Enter. So we have here value 45.1945. If you can see the difference of the resulting value, the interpolated value, this is 35. The value in here is 45.21, and then it decreases in this interpolated value. So we're going to copy this program or formula for the 11. So we have 45.5185. So in this data, we have 45.53. And as we solve that one, the interpolation, we already determined the liquid limit that is 45.329. Okay, or we can say it 45.33%. Okay, so we have already our LL. Then we're going to solve or plot in the graph the position of the n equals to 25, the moisture content equivalent to n equals to 25. So we're going to place here this one, the starting value for our x-axis. We have 5, and then our target value of 25. We just copy in here the value of liquid limit, and then copy this one. Just copy this one. And in this chart, we're going to, the position of 45.33 is around here between 45.30 and 45.35. So we can just right click in here, select data, add. So our x-axis would be our x-axis here, and our y-axis is the y-axis here. Okay. Okay, so you can notice here the red dot. So we're going to customize that one. That is format data series. Let's just make it a solid line. And we're going to use a red line so that we can clearly see. And then an arrow pointing towards the moisture content. So that's it, our chart. So the resulting value. So we have here 45.33. So that's it, our plotting of the liquid limit using the MS Excel.